All right, so more of a general thing, right? When it comes to picking a needle for a sub-Q or an intramuscular injection, there's a few things you've got to be considering here. Obviously, we can say the obvious stuff. Make sure it holds enough of the actual fluid you're trying to use. But I think more importantly than that, depending on the spots you're picking, I think it's super important to consider the gauge, right? So obviously everyone knows, well, hopefully everyone knows, the bigger the number, the smaller the needle ends up being. And the way to explain that is imagine we've got a piece of sandpaper, it's going once on the wood, that's still a really, really big chunk of wood. You do it 100 times, it's really tiny, right? The bigger the gauge is basically doing that, sandpapering around the needle again and again and again to make a really, really tiny one. Now, that being said, the smaller it is, not only is it going to hurt less, but it's going to reduce the scar tissue that builds up. So if you're trying to hopefully minimize the long-term bumps, damage, especially if you get quite lean, you want to be picking a high gauge, as high as a gauge as possible. If you start messing around and you pick a low one, you go down to the 27, 29, maybe the intramuscular, you're crazy and you go 20, that's going to scar. And the more you do it in the same place, you're going to start building up tissue, which is really hard to get into. So that's also a part of it. But all that being said, this comes down to, if we're having quite frequent dosing, we want to be picking things like the legs, maybe the glutes, even to some degree the shoulders, right? Because as much importance people put on the actual stomach area, you want that to be minimized when it comes to bumps and scarring as much as possible.